What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles. You were listening to Lyles Movie Files. All is well. Well, maybe not all is well, because today we're going to be talking about Tyler Perry's latest movie, and that most decidedly is not well. We're also going to do this thing that we were talking about or on our last show about the most inappropriate directors for classic films. So I hope you guys have your list ready, because I think I've got some doozies. All right, so joining me today is little brother Jace. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I watched Bad Boys last night, man. I was really excited about that. Then I did this assignment for this podcast, and then I promptly went to sleep and wanted to judge it. So I'm ready to podcast.
All right, Gunner. We're not talking about it yet, but how are you today?
I'm good. Recovered from watching it because I watched this assignment like days ago. So I recovered. Probably should watch Bad Boys 3 because I'm really was excited about it. Just hadn't had a chance to watch it. Other than that, I'm good.
Well, there's no reason whatsoever not to be excited about it. Bad Boys 3 is the truth. Bad Boys for life, yes. And I'm already set and ready for the fourth installment, which hopefully will not take another 12, 15 years. Kind of set the path for him and Lex Luthor to have this alliance to take down Leviathan, which is so exciting to me as a longtime Superman fan because Lex Luthor and Brainiac. Good stuff.
Right.
Supergirl is still doing her thing. So now let's get into this thing that I've been trying to avoid, but I think it's very important and necessary for our show today. So I love my parents. My parents are great, awesome people, but their taste in movies is a bit skewed when it comes to movies featuring people of a certain hue. So if people of said hue are in a movie, it automatically goes up 2 to 3 points, like sight unseen. So if a movie is a 0 because it's black people, it'll get a 3. I do not subscribe to said theory. I base all movies on the same guidelines. Are you good? Are you good for your genre? Was I entertained? Well, if I had to spend $20 for this movie or spend 2 hours of my time, would I like this movie? And that's how I base my scale. Tyler Perry tends to, how do I describe this? He makes movies, and Tyler Perry knows his audience. His audience, very much like my parents. Cool, Tyler Perry. I'm going to go see his movie. It was good. Tyler Perry did a movie with black people. Good stuff. I'm not among this. So when Tyler Perry debuted his new movie on Netflix, A Fall from Grace, my parents were like, oh, you've got to see this movie. It was so good. My dad, who tends to have slightly better taste on movies than my mom in terms of black movies, fell asleep in the last half of the movie. But he was interested to see where it went. So mom and him watched the movie again the next day. So I'm like, well, typically I have my beep, beep, beep warning alarm clarion going when Tyler Perry movie comes into my head. I was like, all right, let me get this dude a shot. Maybe. You know, his drama films tend to be a little bit better than his comedy films. I'll give him a break on that. You know, his dramas aren't great. I still think he's a terrible Alex Cross. But he's not dressing in a dress, so I'll give it a shot. And A Fall from Grace felt like the worst 2 hour block of a soap opera I've watched in way too long. Grace relates her story to this attorney who apparently has no idea of being a lawyer and is clearly just watching TV law as her basis for being a lawyer, and relates the story of how she hooked up with Jimmy Olsen in a terrible way. And then we find out that she was scammed and he was running a big scheme on her. But that's not all, because if you're paying attention, you clearly know there's no way this young guy is going to be feeling her, right? Then it's an even greater scam because he's been running this racket with somebody else. I won't spoil it right now, but we will talk about it very soon. Jace Gunner wants to rant for eternity on this. I'm going to let you go first. Let's talk about, since you are in the legal field, please talk about this movie from that perspective. Thank you.
I think the Virginia Bar Association should file a complaint against this movie. because there is no way a person who could pass the bar would ever be put in this position. It was like, hey, you're just the lawyer who does plea deals. Hey, I'd like to plead guilty to murder. But then as soon as I saw you, they said you're just the plea lawyer. It was like, what? You wanted to plead guilty at the big offset of this movie. And then you're mad that you get the lawyer that just does plea deals. I'm like, okay. The next, the very basics, so you don't get, especially when you're up for a murder charge. The worst thing you can do is not ask your client any questions and just try and get a plea deal. That's an easy way to get disbarred. And trust me, after $100,000 plus of loans, that's not one of those things you want to do, especially because you might have to take another bar exam. Not really on the list of things that are awesome. Then I understand Mr. Perry has a new studio and he really likes it and really uses it. But if you're going to do a courtroom, could you at least put a seal of the state that you actually are using, like to actually make it look like? Because most people have at least done jury duty and know what a courtroom should look like. It does not look like an abandoned warehouse just with some paint on.
My dude,
Like, okay, and then supposedly her public defender office boss, who is the lead person, is going to let his person who just pleads out case try a murder case, and then he's not even going to assist her as like first or second chair, kind of actually helping her get through the murder case.
Dude, why was he just sitting there like, yo, you messed that up? You messed that.
Hey,
You really messed that up.
Hey, I don't want you bringing shame to the public defender's office, but I'm gonna let you do all the stupid stuff.
Jason, I'm confused.
I didn't know why
was
you
it a
didn't
public
catch that phone
defender's
call.
office?
Yes.
As a lawyer, was it a public defender's office or was it a law firm? I'm confused because they've said they can't afford things and then this and that, this firm, blah, blah, but they're public defense. Please explain that to me.
A public defender's office would not be able to afford like some expert witness because they do have a limited budget and they do have limited resources.
Jace, help me out here. Why did Tyler tell her, hey, listen, we're all jammed up. We're busy. Nobody can do this case but you because you're going to get the plea. Why was everybody in the office helping?
Well, because, because in Tyler Perry's fictional world, public defenders have time to just sit around drinking wine. Because that's not the case. They are some of the most overworked people in this country, and they don't just have time to sit around breaking confidentiality with everybody talking. There is no scenario where you would see 4 lawyers talking loudly about a case in the courtroom. I mean, like in the hallways.
In the hallway.
I was just like, oh my gosh, you have lawyers, because your lawyers at least helped you purchase that damn building that you run studio out of. Have you ever asked them what they actually do during their day? It was just like the last half of this movie. It's because, like I said, I watched Bad Boys and came home after midnight. And, thinking like, oh, I might be tired. By the second half, when this got to the courtroom drama, I am not a courtroom attorney. But even I'm like, oh, stop. This is embarrassing to our profession. Someone stop him. Like, seriously, if this was like anyone had a lawyer like this, they would literally be like, I just want this case to get ordered so I can get it overturned on appeal and get a new trial because my defense attorney was incompetent. And
she was so bad.
Oh my gosh! Hey, wait. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let my only witness. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me go back one more. Like, she supposedly, we don't have money for a blood splatter expert. But then during the trial, there's literally a blood splatter expert. It's like, are we going to?
You saw that, right? I was like, but but I didn't. And again, is this a firm or is this a public defender's office? Because they've said both.
Yeah, and then I'm going to tell you right now, there is no way in this case in a murder trial, you're going to get 45 witnesses. Because you did not need 45 witnesses. It was just like, the judge would be like, I got other cases to do. And
James,
this
help me
woman,
out with this very important legal thing because I'm not a lawyer, clearly.
you may
How
be a better lawyer or writer than Tyler Perry after this, but okay.
how was she accused of murder without a body?
Dead silence. Exactly. Just that
That was
whole
the part I was like,
conversation.
hey, listen,
The
there's
whole
no body. How is she in prison right now for
Okay,
murder?
all right, okay. Here I will give you a small bit of okay, maybe. But here's the thing: if the police were not called, I'm trying to like, were the police called over to her house to check for a dead body? Because nobody was literally looking for this dude.
No one was looking for this guy.
So, I mean, it's like, okay, so her son would have been like, hey, mom, there's no body here. We're good. So this dude, after you beat him with a bat, he ran because he's a sucker. We're good. Just clean up the blood, and no one's coming for us. And then, yeah, I'm just gonna stay on the law because like I will let Gunner get on the next part of the necessary rant on this movie. But if there is no body, no one's gonna say, hey, you're guilty of murder. It's like missing person. He ran. He
Right.
stole all my money and ran. I beat the shit out of him,
Absolutely.
and he ran. Okay, that's a fair point.
And why
It's
was
like,
she keeping that a secret? Like, I can't tell anybody what really happened because what?
he stole all my money, and I'm embarrassed.
Get out of here.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Now, I'm trying to think. This lady did not look like, say, uh, Lynn
Selma
Whitfield.
Hayek.
Yeah, this lady looked like your av- uh, middle-aged church woman. Didn't dress sexy, and it was just like the random dude. And
She
okay,
looked like
I'm
the
sorry.
youngest grandma.
I'm sorry. Let's say as I say, I'm gonna stick to the one part. But it was
Yeah.
like I'm just judging Nathan Petrelli for deciding he needs to be the random DA for the first part of this case, and then when it's actually at trial, somebody else is doing the arguments.
I didn't understand it either, but he was the smartest person in the entire film. Oh, you're gonna pay me? Sweet. I'm not gonna stick around for this trash, but pay me.
It was like, oh, Nathan, really? You just bored? And it was just like, all right. It was funny. Like I was watching it, and like my girlfriend was like, that wig doesn't look right for Jimmy Olsen. I'm like, I'm gonna show you what he looks like. It was just like, yeah. I'm like, yes. Like this is what you left Supergirl for, man. I don't think that was the right call. It's like maybe they got some more scenes for you on Supergirl. Like just go. Maybe Clark Kent and Lois. Maybe you should go to that one. But no, just yeah. So I'm gonna tap out and let
Okay.
Gunner go for
Thanks.
this one. Yeah.
Well, Gunner, let me set this up for you here. So, we find out that our girl, our terrible attorney, she's married to a police officer.
Mhm.
Said police officer goes, "Oh shoot!" He sees something mysterious that we don't see. So she goes to the house because she's got some surprising evidence that
Oh,
if
Jeff,
you've
I'm
been
sorry.
watching the movie, you understand like exactly right away. I spoiled this for my wife because I was like, "Oh, come on," and she was like, "I didn't know." I was like, "Are you serious? I mean, he should have just put a neon sign. Don't trust her. She's lying." So she goes to the house where Cicely Tyson just randomly walks out. Now this is a huge question mark after the big reveal because it's like, how is she walking around if everybody else in the basement is chained up? But so she goes in and she's like, you know what? My husband's a cop. I should tell him where I am. Nah, I'm pretty good. I can figure this out on my own. She goes to the dark basement. People chained up. Yeah, I have a cop husband, but I think it's okay. I can get them out. Jimmy Olsen knocks her out. But said cop husband goes to the same place and he knows everything that's gone down now. So he goes in and tries to be Mr. Police Officer. And she's like, nah, dude, you're not coming into my spot without a warrant. He's like, okay, I guess that's it. Then he's like, wait a second. My wife left her cell phone on the table. Of course, let me call it. And he's like, hey, lady, Then he fights her, handcuffs her. Apparently, is not enough to take care of her. But he apparently forgets to call for backup.
He does not have handcuffs
He
because
calls for backup.
he literally left a random dude when he figured all this out who had a dude handcuffed to his car. He just left that dude just sitting there.
No, he didn't. He didn't even tell him.
Like, yo,
he didn't even tell him I'm about to back up, get away, sit here and wait for somebody else. He just moves and the dude is like,
sitting there.
I guess I'm gonna have to leave.
I'll just
so I don't
stand
fall on
over
the floor.
here.
Oh my gosh, dude. He should have been the one that ran. But go ahead, Gunner.
Right.
That here, floor is all yours. Take it away.
Oh my gosh. I was just gonna do a general I'll do my general rant after the scene you just set up, the situation you just set up. So he did call for backup before he entered the door. And then went to the basement. You know what I mean? Here's eggs, Jimmy Olsen with, just a scratch Band-Aid on his head. After she done beat him silly in the chair scenes way before.
Hey, let me interrupt really quick. So,
yeah,
we're all black dudes, right? Right.
Yes.
There is absolute no way in Hades a black dude is going to talk that much trash on a black woman and keep his back turned to her all that time.
There is no way a dude is going to smash another girl in their house, and then she catches him, and then he has the audacity to say, "You should have joined in," and then sits down and turns his back to her.
Yeah, that was some straight ridiculous, never happening.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna go on my rant then, if that's the case, because as you brought that up, I was like, my first part of it was I apologize to black women everywhere for the continuation of portrayal that this man continuously does. Like, first of all, she's so gullible. The main character's so gullible for this crap. Second of all, and then even in this very scene, she's gonna let him like do that in the bed, and then here's the old girl, the side chick, just okay with it, like everything's all good, like.
Well, the side chick would actually think that was his mom. I mean, like literally, like
either way, this is his pattern portrayal of black women. This is what he does, and I'm like, they're either super evil or super gullible, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. Super gullible, I go to church. I'm like, oh my gosh, this dude. And I gotta apologize to all darker skinned dudes that are darker than me, because good Lord, he did it again. And then of course the cop, who was also a bad high top fade wig on. This man, dude, light skinned looking Shamar Moore. I need a Shamar Moore looking dude for the cop. That's what I need. So that way people don't get mad at me. Wait, that's right. This is my normal trope.
Bootleg Shamar Moore on a diet.
This was like bootleg Shamar Moore on a diet with a bad wig on. Oh my gosh! In a high school musical cop uniform on.
Can you make him look like the Brothers version of Shamar Moore with the hair? Thanks.
Yeah, appreciate it. And let me touch on that. This whole production looked like something from like when we did vocational stuff in Chantilly High School. Like, serious, real talk, man. All of it, the wigs, everything looked like. I mean, you got a studio, all this money, all this stuff, and you still do low budget stuff. Like, it doesn't even make any sense to me, man. Like, I can't stand it. Like, also touching on the low budget thing, like, the extras were just sipping, barely eating in the diner. You remember that part? Like, they were in the diner, and this white dude was just sitting in the background drinking out of a cup that was empty. Visibly.
How are they getting wine at this diner?
Wait,
and it was a diner that has wine.
She came through with a wine bottle. Like, what?
Okay, how many times did they get wine
and not get? Diner. Yeah.
So I've been to Silver Diner.
Right. I've been to Silver Diner. I've been to like Waffle House. I ain't got no wine, dude. Like, I don't. Diners usually
like a selection from our wine menu.
Right, like that doesn't even make any sense. IHOP ain't got no wine, dog. Like, come on, man. And you gonna take her to IHOP for the first date? It's a great date. What?
Yeah,
it's a diner. Like, greasy spoon.
Is this the only set you had available?
Yes.
It's the only thing he had on the set. He's like, I'm gonna do this in 5 days. We're gonna use this, and this. We're gonna use that courthouse, and then the new mark. As they come out the courthouse, and then the new mark that because Felicia Rashad got away. By the way, I'm not spoiling this crap because.
How did she get away though? She was handcuffed.
I don't even know how she got away, but she got away, put on a new, crappier wig.
She was
Right.
literally like he had used
She was
his
in
one pair of
handcuffs.
handcuffs to the random dude, and he just said, "Hey, I'm out, and hey, I'm just
Right.
gonna put your head to the table, and you just stay there, okay?" Well, okay,
Right.
sure, baby.
She rolled out, got her hands uncuffed, got a new wig,
You
went to
know
the
what?
new mark and trying to fool somebody else. But it's the same building. Did anybody else notice that? That was the exact same building they just came out of 1 minute earlier.
Brace and old
I
girl
was
had the
like,
same bedroom,
yeah, everybody had the
the
same
same
bedroom.
bed. He
Quite
just put a new
literal.
comforter set on there.
All right, for real rant time. Here we go. All right, seriously, this man is terrible. He must be stopped. Like, I'm done. We've been hip. You've heard me talk about this cat. I can't stand it. Stage plays. I saw it for real that he made a turn at like the family that prays and why did I get married? And I was like, okay, there's some things that they're okay. This is a Tyler Perry movie, but they weren't terrible. Then after like he went back downhill, rolled right back downhill purposefully. Why did I get married to and Temptation and Acrimony, which I have to laugh every time I like mention that movie because that was ridiculous. The same formulaic tropes. It's like with the whole faux Christian theme. I mean, this dude is just creating modern day minstrel shows. Yes, I said it. Minstrel shows. That's what he's doing. These people are like performing tropes of Black America, this and that. I mean, that's what minstrel shows did, right? So that's what it is. And like you said, Jeff, your parents, there are plenty of people like your parents who are desperate for a blackface because that wasn't a thing when they were, let's say 20, 30, whatever, or, younger. But, when we kind of grew up in an era where we had like, you know, better black movies out, a variety of black movies out. It wasn't just Menace to Society and Boys in the Hood. It was also Rosewood, Friday, Malcolm X. You know what I mean? Slade. I'm thinking about all the movies in
Did,
the
did
'90s, like just the
did
'90s.
you really try and
Cool
bring up
Days.
Rosewood like a great movie?
Rosewood wasn't a bad movie if you look at this stuff that's this man's work. Come on, man. It was
And Ving
more or
Rhames.
less historically. Hmm?
Superman Ving Rhames.
I'm sorry, Superman
Yeah,
Ving
yeah, yeah.
Rhames who
Superman,
gets
Bing Rames. Okay,
hung,
fine.
and then okay, yeah. I'm sorry. Hey, I took you off. Go ahead, continue, please.
Yeah, comparatively to any Tyler Perry movie, yeah, I watched Rosewood 50,000 times. Seriously, especially this one. No, I mean, think about it. You got Posse, East Bayou, Bad Boys 1. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, these were '90s movies. But then, like this kind of crap wouldn't have flown back then. But Tyler Perry hit the nail on the head right at a time where there was like this lull of black movies, black directors have given a chance or whatever. And don't forget, this is a minstrel show, so of course white audiences and white directors and white distributors love this crap. So here we go, Medea 18, all this crap, some other mess that he makes, all these little things with these tropes, with these, as Aaron McGruder made fun of, with these light skinned heroes, dark skinned enemies, naive older women, naive younger black women, and then just the trash black women, right? That's all. Literally his own thing. And if you watch Temptation, here's one that's like doing great. As soon as she does bad, she gets AIDS. I'm like, what? None of that. Like, none of this
She was
makes
the
sense,
worst.
dude.
Gosh.
It was the
It was
worst
like
situation. Like, you were a horrible human being, and you go to this Lion's Den club because clubs are just Lion's Dens, and I'm like, dude, this dude is ridiculous. Like all these faux Christian tropes, all these things. But think about it now. You know what I mean? Everybody's starting to wake up after Temptation and Acrimony. People are like, wait a minute, these movies are bad. And I'm sitting here with like a lot of other people like, no crap. We've grown up with better movies than this. This is stupid. So now you got like Get Out, Moonlight, About Last Night. We could talk about that another day. Girls Trip, Black Panther, Creed. You know what I mean? And everybody's like, wait a minute. These things are shittily written. Like, you don't need them. And then the whole thing, like, oh, he's got millions and he hires black people. You know who else does that? The NFL. So yeah, I don't like this dude. This dude made his money off of minstrel shows, and I'm supposed to be happy about that. What I am cool with is he's built this empire thing, but then after this movie, I'm sitting here like, well, if you built this studio and you got like these trash wigs, crappy sets, shit lighting, sorry to curse, crap lighting, everything that possibly could go wrong in this movie production wise, I think I saw a boom mic, extras just barely, staring at the camera, extras staring at the camera. Like, you know what I mean? I'm sitting here like, dog, this is what your studio's producing? Come on, man.
I
Y'all.
blame the writing team, Gunner.
Yep, the whole writing team, just him. Really, you know what I mean? Like, the dude is trash. This dude isn't even trash. Like, someone, we were talking about that earlier this week, via text. I was just like, someone said, this is trash. I was like, it's trash would be a compliment. This is like literally if I took a dump and lit it on fire and left it for like 8 days and then took another dump on top of it. That's what this movie is. That's what his stuff is.
I think the sad thing is we all have like our Facebook friends, and then I've seen a couple of them like, this isn't bad. I'm like, what movie are you watching? Because obviously you have like this movie on your TV, but you're watching something on your tablet or on your phone. Because there's no conceivable thing where you can objectively look at this movie other than as Jeff said, because there's black people on there. Objectively, just critique this movie. Like, does this make sense?
No, I mean the plot holes. I mean, I can't like I I just can't. Like, okay, all I know is this minstrel show stuff is not necessary nowadays. You know what I mean? Like, the low budget production plus the black tropes means that he's just thrown out there because he knows he has an audience that's gullible, and I'm gonna say it's stupid enough to think that these movies are good and spend their money on them. So luckily this is on Netflix. So if you're already on, if you're on Netflix, you just flip it on. But I didn't want to mess up my algorithm. Thank you, mother-in-law, for letting me mess up your algorithm and watch this mess on your profile, because I was not touching this mess on mine.
Yeah, I didn't do it on my profile either. I was like, nah, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not messing up mine. I got good movies on here that are actually fine for me. Like
you know what's hilarious to me? You guys are saying I don't want this to mess up my profile. Is there a worse movie that could be put on your profile?
They could recommend you other movies by this. No.
Yeah.
So I would like that scroll not to be
Acrimony, like, recommended for you. Acrimony. Recommended for you. Some other Boo 2.
Temptation's worse, though. That whole AIDS thing was the worst.
Whenever he portrays AIDS, it's really bad. He did that enough for yeah. Don't get me started on what he did for Color Girls who the play. The play was amazing. I like plays. I watch plays. The play is amazing. What he did to that thing, the thing that he produced from that play, was absolutely ridiculous. He like literally created a character and said, "Hey, Whoopi Goldberg, go play this. You're good at playing in minstrel shows." Yeah, I said it. So I was just like, "You're good at playing magical Negroes that don't really matter in the whole scheme of the whole plot. Here you go." Couldn't stand that movie either. I was just like, I actually sat through that because I was like, well, he couldn't have done that bad. Nope. Tyler Perry strikes again with bad writing, and of course, his portrayal of AIDS again. Janet Jackson, remember? She was just coughing. I got AIDS.
That's all we need to say about A Fall from Grace, because we could talk about Tyler Perry literally all day. Let's move on to our last part here. So, in our show last week, we talked about the most inappropriate directors to direct classic movies, because we were inspired by the thought of Michael Bay doing 12 Angry Men. And so I asked you guys to come up with some ideas. Let's keep them to no more than 10. If you don't have that many, that's fine. But if you have, that's fine. Jace, you want to start us off? I guess he does not.
Oh, no. I definitely have my list on this one. It's like, no, I just had to actually get my, as usual. I was going to save you guys the sound of ruffling paper.
That's what we were looking for.
Oh, I know, man. I know, but you can't give the fans everything they want all the time. Okay. All right. My first one. Ghost. Directed by Ang Lee.
There would have been some father issues all over that thing.
Oh yes, Patrick Swayze is the reason why he's still a ghost is actually because of his father issues. Like that's my first one. Next one, because this one just needs to be said. A classic movie from 1917, Birth of a Nation, about the glorious ascendance of the Klan, directed by Spike Lee. I think Spike Lee will give this movie the justice it deserves.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, I think he will put the Klan in exactly the light they deserve. Next, I have Clint Eastwood directs Rosewood. There will be no magical Negro here. There will somehow be. Vin Rames will not be getting up off that thing. He will not be getting unlynched. It will be some white guy helping him.
It'd be him.
No, yes, Father Time will give him a say. It's like, you should get off that rope, boy. Yes. My next one. Where we go? Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, directed by Martin Scorsese.
Oh God.
Martin Scorsese will bring the cinema back to the Tokyo Drift. Story of
white dudes
of gangsters, and somehow magically the triad is all run by a bunch of Irish gangsters.
I feel like you're missing the obvious Martin Scorsese version of that. I mean, he's got a mafioso type crime unit there to work with. He's like, sign me up.
Again, this could work out. This could actually work out, but somehow the triad is run by a bunch of Irish gangsters. What else? See, and you guys talked about Michael Bay with 12 Angry Men, but I really think I found the better movie for Michael Bay. I think the best classic movie that Michael Bay could direct is The Sound of Music.
Did anybody else just see a bunch of hills exploding behind?
Exactly. The hills are literally exploding. The Germans are just boosh, boosh. Jimmy just. I mean, this orphanage is just, and somehow there's a sexually orphan somewhere too.
Instead of the puppet show, they're making bombs.
I mean, I think we're just missing money here. So,
people, focus.
Yeah.
You got to be careful because somebody's gonna be like, you know what? That's not a bad idea. That's what happened with Chris Rock and Tyler Perry.
Okay. All right, and I think my last one is going to be David Yates of Harry Potter fame directs Dr. Zhivago. Dr. Zhivago is about 4-hour epic long movie that you really need to actually watch the whole thing. David Yates would cut that thing down to 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes, and you would have no story and be like, what did I just watch? So I think that's the way to go.
Nice job.
Yeah. So.
All right, Gunner, let's hear your Fab Four.
I got 4 great ones. Mel Gibson to remake Cry Freedom. That will go wonderful. You'll be like, well, we just get a pack of. Oh wait, all right, never mind. We'll go to the next one. Harvey Weinstein to remake Little Women. Nothing will go on that set. I promise you. Martin Scorsese to remake Roots. How that would turn out, I have no clue. And finally, Wes Craven to remake Frozen. I'd actually like that movie even more.
Right.
I would watch that one.
Yeah, actually, I was like, dang, that sounds cool.
All right. I had Woody Allen directing Little Women, but we were on the same wavelength with that.
That's actually better. That's actually better. For some terrible, morbid reason, that is better.
So many reasons why that's a bad idea.
And as soon as it's announced, it's an Oscar contender.
Yeah.
Probably.
And then I have M. Night Shyamalan directing It's a Wonderful Life. Twist ending.
Oh, gosh.
He's not an angel.
He was an angel. He was dead all along.
Exactly. Wow. The movie with a twist. And we get M. Night Shyamalan to do it. Nice.
Yes. That was a good use of M. Night Shyamalan.
That's hilarious.
And then for Tyler Perry, I have him doing Boys in the Hood.
Oh, good
Because,
God.
yes, that would be quite the powerful statement on that movie. Then, while we're also speaking of powerful black movies, I've got Quentin Tarantino directing Malcolm X.
Woo!
Would you like to see driving scenes of Malcolm? Yes, you would.
Right? Everybody's dead. That death scene would last at least 30 minutes.
Absolutely.
It's like,
Lots of blood.
It was just Malcolm X shot. Nah, man, it was everybody in the audience. No, it was just him. No.
Actually, if
No,
Quentin
it's not.
directed it, Malcolm would survive the assassination attempt. Let's see. And then I have Spike Lee directing West Side Story.
You had West Side Story too? Good one.
And
No, that wouldn't be terrible.
it probably wouldn't be, but I would
No.
I would love to see him doing a dancing musical.
Yeah, a lot of rolly shots.
Yeah, they'd be singing into the camera as they're walking up with us dancing. That'd be awesome.
Like,
It's just like Cool Days all over again.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
and then my final one.
Where the camera comes with you while they're like after somebody gets killed. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. All right, and my final one was Michael Bay directing Bridesmaids.
That poop scene would have been more of an explosion.
There's so much in that movie with Michael Bay. I mean,
There's
all of the bridesmaids would have been ridiculously hot just because. And yeah.
And Wilson Phillips would have just blown apart.
He would have just been ridiculous with it. So those are my choices, fellas. Speaking of choices, now is that magical time of the show. Do you guys have any nominees for Dummies of the Week?
Of course. It
What
will
you got?
be the man I ranted about earlier. Tyler, I don't have a budget, but I do have a budget. Perry. My gosh. Netflix done gave you, this is different than my other rant. This is off the cuff. I just thought about it. Like, Netflix done gave, Netflix gives money. You know what I mean? Like, think of how much money they spent on just TV shows, like Sense8. You know what I mean? A few other ones. Like, if you don't know that show, look it up and then look up how much they spent on that show. For 2-3 seasons, something like that. And so I was like, okay, so Netflix does have money. So they gave you money. You built this $1 billion studio that's supposed to be bigger than ones in Hollywood and all this stuff. And you can't afford no wigs, dude? No wigs, no actual, you only shot with 5 buildings, like, in the whole studio. Like, this is your production. Like, I don't know, man. Written and directed by Tyler Perry should be a hate crime. That's it. Tell me of the week. Tell me of the lifetime. Tyler.
I was not expecting that one. Hate crime. All right. My nominee for Dummy of the Week is Kathleen Kennedy. Because
wow, yeah,
I feel like getting the Star Wars license, being the gatekeeper of Star Wars, should be something that makes you cool, calm, collected, just counting the money. Like, I feel like you'd have to work hard to mess that up. And over the course of time, since Disney has purchased Star Wars, it's large, maybe it's not largely, but it's about 50-50. And that's not good because it's Star Wars. And I feel like there's so many ways it is delayed on Disney Plus. And because apparently there are some issues with the script and she wasn't happy with things. And if you paid any attention to Star Wars under Kathleen Kennedy, basically J.J. Abrams is the only one who has done something where she's been happy with. And not to say, hey, she can't hold people up to a high standard, but that standard apparently is not good because Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, etc. Yes, we had Rogue One, but she did dump the guys, Miller and Lord, who were working on Solo. Probably would have made a different Solo movie than the one we got, which I liked, but probably would have been different. Based on their success with Into the Spider-Verse, maybe they actually know how to make a hit film. And the Lego movie while I'm at it. So I just kind of feel like she's squandered so much fan goodwill with something that should have people excited. And with about 15 Marvel shows coming to Disney Plus soon, Star Wars is lagging behind. And this is an arena where, based off the success of The Mandalorian, they should be rolling with more projects to get that goodwill for Star Wars back. And she's still like, no, no, no. I mean, after a while, maybe the problem isn't with everybody else. Maybe it's you. So, there we go, fellas. Thank y'all for rolling with me as always tonight. Or tonight, this morning, afternoon. Thank y'all out there for listening. We will be back. Hopefully, I'll be super excited with barely a voice. No, I still got another week before the Super Bowl. So, yeah, I'll have a voice for the next episode. The one after that, hopefully, it's exhausted from me being excited. So, fellas, thank you. This episode of Lyle's Movie Files has been filed.